Live from Los Angeles, you are watching Midnight Movie Talk with me, Eric Weber, and we have a very big story to talk about here on this Sunday night as we delve into the box office over the weekend. And of course, we're talking about the failure to launch for Lightyear. What happened with this film? I think we all are like, we have different reasons. Let me tell you, we got a lot of reasons we got to get through, but let's get to Variety because there's something in this article that I have to absolutely hammer right now as we get started talking about Lightyear and this $51 million opening, which, by the way, is an easy minus 30 million minimum from where we thought this film could slash should be. I mean, there was one time when this film really was closer to a 90 to 100, maybe even over 100. Some people thought 120. And now you're looking at 51 million. So let's look here, which obviously is way under. Okay. It is a massive disappointment. And we're going to get into why. And we're going to get into the fact that some people are not calling it that. And I don't understand why. And I think it's garbage. Because if you want to talk about misinformation, then you're going to tell me that Lightyear was not a massive disappointment. That is misinformation if you say that that is not what happened. It's exactly what happened. It absolutely did not live up to expectations. Okay, so here I am on Variety. This is written by Rebecca Rubin, who writes up the box office for them. And I picked Variety because there was something here in this first article, the first paragraph, that we really need to talk about. To Infinity and Beyond, not exactly. Lightyear, the spin-off story set to Pixar's Toy Story universe, fell short of that boundless milestone in its box office debut, collecting a lackluster 51 million. Everything's good, 100%, right? It's very lackluster, okay? If anything, we're kind of pulling punches here because it really is a incredibly disappointing opening. I mean, I could go harder, but I'm gonna lay up for a second. Okay, so here it is. This is what I'm talking about. Family audiences, the movie's prime demographic, haven't returned to theaters in full force since the start of the COVID-19 pandemic. Seriously? That's what you're going to write? You're going to write that families have not returned to multiplexes, and that is why Lightyear failed to launch. How do you answer the question, how did No Way Home make $1.8 billion worldwide? No families at that movie, not a single family, because they're still at home scared. They didn't go to see No Way Home. What about Doctor Strange 2? Oh, that's almost at a billion. No families went to see that. What about the new guys? Excuse me, the bad guys. The Universal animated film, almost up to 100 million right now. Okay, open with like 25. An original animated film based on a book, but either way, it's original IP, right? It's new to theaters. Oh, no families went to see that. How can you, in good conscience, write something, Variety, and I have a lot of friends who work at Variety, but to sit here and write this, family audiences, the movie's prime demographic, haven't returned to theaters in full force since the start of the COVID-19 pandemic. Hit me in the comments. There is nobody who's going to defend that line. And I've said it before, I'm saying it again tonight. Stop saying pandemic era. It's over. People have returned to life. I was out and about all over Los Angeles, down in Orange County today, from the beach to malls to outside of movie theaters. Didn't see a movie today. Everywhere I went, it looked exactly as it did before the pandemic. So stop. I don't want to read it anymore. If you write it, you are spreading misinformation. That's that simple because the facts, the reality don't match up with what you're saying. Families have not returned to the multiplex. Unbelievable. We have a bunch of reasons why this film did not deliver. Okay. But one of them is not, most assuredly, not the fact that families have not returned to the multiplex. That is absolute misinformation. I can't believe I'm reading that. Okay. Let's go a little bit further here in the article. Heading in the weekend, the Disney film was expected to generate at least 70 million. Okay, that is on the very low end. 70 million was the lowest end possible for this film. Really, we want to see this thing at 80, 90, 100, and we're at 51. Okay, and we're going to talk about why, and I'm going to get your input on why. There's so many reasons, but this is a massive disappointment. There is no other way to look at it. Look at this internationally. Lightyear earned 34.6 million. That is very strong. Okay, for a global total of 85.6 million. The movie was banned in smaller foreign markets, as you guys know. You know why? For the same-sex kiss, Saudi Arabia, UAE, and some other places. But notably, Lightyear is the first Pixar movie to play on the big screen in more than 2 years, which is true. Okay, so listen. So Lightyear is the first Pixar movie we've had. You have to go back to Onward, which was out right before we were told to stay in our houses and duck and cover for 2 years. Okay, so Onward was the last one. Soul was obviously direct to Disney Plus. So was Luca, and then Turning Red. Turning Red should have been theatrical. We've talked about that. There's no question that film opens. Hey, could Turning Red have opened at 50 or more? I think it could do close to that. So that should tell you what happened here with Lightyear. So okay, let's get into the reasons. Why did this film not launch? Why was there a failure to launch? Let me pull up a Twitter poll that I posted earlier this morning as soon as we got this final number. And by the way, the number kept going down. On Friday night, the number was like 55 or higher. And then Saturday, it was like, it's going down. So that tells you word of mouth's not there. And it also tells you that there's a significant portion of the audience that is not going. Are they boycotting this? And that's one of the reasons we're going to talk about. Let's pull it up here. So I'm going to pull up my Twitter poll, and we'll get the very latest right now on what's happening with this, with what you guys think. And then I'm going to get your opinion right here, obviously live tonight on Midnight Movie Talk. Let's pull it up. So here's the Twitter poll. I asked, what's the biggest reason Lightyear came in well under expectations? By the way, the nicest way I could possibly put that, and I did. What is the biggest reason? Okay. No one wanted a Lightyear film is the clear leader now at 53.2%. Okay. Too much competition, 16.7. No Tim Allen, 12.3. And peeved conservatives at 17.8. I think that number needs to be higher. Okay. I think this one down here, peeved conservatives, absolutely needs to be bigger. It needs to be a bigger percentage of this poll. 562 votes. So a very solid sampling size. Most people just say, hey, nobody wanted to see this Lightyear film. Okay, I'm going to do, before we get into the next story, here's what I'm going to do. Let's go right to the comments, because I think this is such a big story. Before we get into anything else, let's go right to the comments. I want to see what you guys think. I think all four of those reasons are extremely valid. One of the reasons that is absolutely invalid is the fact that families have not returned to the multiplex. I can't believe a writer at Variety wrote that line. Seriously. How do you say that? Okay, seriously, hit me in the comments. How do you as a writer, I need someone to tell me, how do you as a writer write that families are not the multiplex with No Way Home at $1.8 billion in the middle of the last variant, right? Omicron, stay home. No, we're going to see No Way Home. Doesn't make sense. Lonely Lizard, good evening to you. There's only one reason for Lightyear's failure. It wasn't because of the kiss scene. It wasn't because of no Tim Allen. It wasn't just Disney Plus. It was a movie people had no interest in at all. I mean, that's clearly one of the reasons. Anytime you get a number like this, that is a very, I think that's fair. Okay, let's keep going. Hope this doesn't make Disney put Strange World on Disney Plus. It's not going to happen. Strange World is Disney's big Oscars animated film. I think they can win with that. It's going to be interesting because Netflix has some really strong product when it comes to animation. But no, Strange World will absolutely be theatrical. Don't worry about that. I'm telling you right now, that's not going to happen. They're already doing it in France, a challenge to France's anti-consumer laws. I don't think it's going to happen. So I wouldn't worry about that. Rob, good evening to you. Lightyear marketing was awful. Every commercial and trailer was pretty bad. No Tim Allen was a huge mistake. Ultimately, the film was pretty mediocre, so the word of mouth will be non-existent. It got an A- cinema score. We talked about that on Friday in the rare Friday night Midnight Movie Talk session. And we knew this film was in trouble. That's why I went on. I said, we're going to do a Friday session because this is not good. This is going to turn out really bad. And here we are Sunday night, exactly where we called it on Friday night. Okay. And that A- cinema score is the lowest Toy Story grade ever for any of the Toy Story films. So now we're talking about 5 Toy Story films. A-, the lowest grade. That means word of mouth is going to be lower on this film. Okay. So that's another problem they have going forward. Scott Mendelson was right. Lightyear is Pixar's Solo. I think that's good. Here's the problem though with Solo. Okay, I think that the main primary, and we've talked about this before. I have plenty of tweets talking about this, even when it happened. Okay, as it was occurring, I called it as this. The reason Solo absolutely tanked and nobody really wanted to see that film is because it was less than 5 months after, was it Return of the Jedi, right? Or not Return of the Jedi, The Last Jedi. It was right then, right? So it was right at that point where we just had another Star Wars film at Christmas, and they're like, hey, here's this one in May. And everyone's like, that's too much Star Wars. If you would have put Solo at Christmas, 1 full year from the last Star Wars film, it does better. So I'm not going to fully go with that. But I understand the comparison is pretty good, though. I mean, obviously. Solo was a failure, and frankly, Lightyear is going to be a failure too. I mean, at this point, I'm not going to call it a bomb because 51 million is not 5 million or 15 or something, but it's also not a good number. Okay, and if you try to spin this, like, okay, so I got into it. Listen, I love Jeff. Jeff, ERC, box office. We've gone to movies together. I know Jeff, but when he tries to spin it as, and you tell me what you think, when he tries to spin it as this was a movie primarily for younger audiences and younger kids. Wait, what? Why were there Gen Z folks streaming out of the screening on Thursday night? Like, if it's for younger audiences, why was literally everybody coming down the escalator at AMC Burbank above, like in their 20s? Okay, because that's not what this movie did not fail to launch based on the fact that it was younger audiences. That's, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna allow that to fly. Yeah, Rob, we're gonna get into this in the next story here in a moment. Top Gun Maverick minus 15% the drop. That's incredible. We're gonna talk about that in a moment, so hold that. I'll come back to that. Lightyear was an all right movie. I did not expect this low opening weeks ago. Big disappointment. I mean, Gone Girl ultimately. That's 100% on the nose, and I think anytime that you try to spin something, and this is, oh God, okay, just please forgive me for trying to do this comparison, but Bill O'Reilly, okay, just hold on. He had the thing, no spin zone. Let me tell you right here, when you watch Midnight Movie Talk, you know who I am. I do not spin crap. I can't do it. It's not who I am. It's always about balanced scales and being objective. No matter what it is, it's objective. Any review that I ever have on a film, it is as neutral as possible, because why would I go into it and have like a slant, right? Because, oh, it's a Disney movie, therefore it's a Marvel movie, therefore it's good. It's by this director, therefore it's got to be great. No, none of that stuff is applicable. The bottom line is you go in every time neutral. And that's the key here. When I call Lightyear a huge disappointment, that's a neutral evaluation, an objective evaluation on this number of 51 million. Okay. If you're spinning it the other way, then you are not being objective. When you tell me that audiences are not coming to theaters, they have younger audiences and families aren't going to movies, that's not objective. That is garbage. It's straight up garbage. Okay. Because it's not true. It's legit misinformation. I mean, how can you say that families aren't there when you have a movie at 1.8 billion, No Way Home, in the middle of COVID? Right now, if anything, you guys know, nobody's running around scared anymore. It's over, okay? Lightyear was an all right movie, but I did not expect. Okay, sorry, I did yours. Let's keep going. Thank you for that. It's a good one, Gone Girl. The LA groupthink on COVID is evident in the Hollywood Reporting. Jay, listen, I think that's very good, and I think it's very fair. I don't know. First of all, I hate groupthink. I mean, when I say hate, I mean I loathe groupthink. I can't stand it. If anything, if someone says, "Oh, you have to do this," I go, "You know what? I'm not." And then I see it and I go, "You're right." Like RRR. Chris Gore keeps saying, "You got to see RRR." At this point, I'm just like, I'm not going to watch it because you keep telling me to watch it. Groupthink is not where you want to be. Okay, be your own critical thinker. Be your own person. Never let someone else decide, including me. You can get into it and say, "Oh, you were totally wrong about this film." Like, I do not love everything everywhere all at once. But if you do, that's fine. I understand why you do, but I also hope you understand why I don't. And I think that groupthink is extremely dangerous. And certainly in the case of COVID, we've been dealing with this for so long. I think that it's turned though. Okay, let me just take a moment. If you guys have noticed on Twitter today, there's this guy who took a picture of a stewardess on a United flight in Canada without her mask as she did the thing. And he took a picture. He said, look at her without her mask. What is she, what a terrible human being. Oh my God, fire this person. And remember in the middle of COVID, what happened when COVID first started? If you were the person pictured, they were coming after you. You notice what's happened now? What's happened now? The person doing the ratting out is the one getting attacked. And that's where we need to be. I've said it so many times. Stay in your lane, okay? Take precautions that you need to take, but it's not your job to look over to the person next to you and say, that person doesn't have a mask on. That's not your job, okay? Let them do their thing, you do yours, and don't worry about it. I think the more you allow people just to be who they are, and this includes masks, it includes all this stuff, we get into trouble when you start calling people out. And I think that when you look at what's happened, look, this guy, he's getting savage. In fact, I liked a bunch of tweets that said, you're a clown, because not cool. Like literally this poor woman is a stewardess and she's doing her best to like pay the bills. And you got this guy going, she doesn't have a mask on. Fucking idiot. Okay, there we go. Sorry, that was enough. Well, let's eliminate the. I mean, you know how I feel about that. Is that good? I think you guys know. Aaliyah, I agree with you. The pandemic era no longer applies to box office scene movies. Thank you, Aaliyah. This is absolutely. I think that's fair, you guys. Right? Isn't it? I think it is. 100%. Laugh my ass off. It's such a cop out for Lightyear. What a lazy excuse for why it failed. No one with a brain believes that. Then why do they even write it? I guess that's the question. Why do you even write that? Hold on, I got to pull it up again. I got to read it again. I've got to literally read it again verbatim because it's just so epically horrible. What a horrendous line. Hold on, let me scroll back. Here we go. Okay, so here it is. Let's find it. Here's the line. Here's the line. And you know what? If Rebecca Rubin, and I don't think I follow Rebecca, and I'm probably going to lose all my variety people, but listen, it's fine. Whatever. I'm not calling her names. Okay. I'm not calling Rebecca names. Okay. I'm doing my best not to, but when you write family audiences, the movie's prime demographic haven't returned to theaters in full force. Yes, they have. Yes, they have. That's not, and like you said, like Rob, like you said, nobody with a brain believes that. That's the danger with writing stuff like that, is that someone who maybe wants to believe that all of a sudden goes, well, wait a second, maybe families aren't back. Like, yeah, they are. They didn't want to see Lightyear. That's what happened. It's that simple. They didn't want to see the film. Now, the reasons are very straightforward. I think they're very easy. Overall, people really didn't want to watch a Lightyear movie. Okay. That's very clearly number one. Let's talk about the other reasons, okay? Because I haven't drilled down on those, and I put them in the Twitter poll. Okay, conservatives were definitely not happy with this film. Now, we're not going to talk about whether that's right or wrong. I'm just telling you from a box office perspective, the number tells me that there was a segment of the population that said we are out. That's the objective looking at the number, 51 million. There was a segment that said, we're not going to see this. Okay. So there's one thing. Also, couple that with Tim Allen being replaced by Chris Evans. People were not happy about that. Not everybody, but again, there are people that were. That's two. And then also you have the Disney Plus situation where people say, oh, Lightyear's going to be on Disney Plus in 3 weeks or whatever. I don't even know if they've announced it. Have they? Those all combined, right? Along with not wanting to see the movie. And the movie's okay. It's not great, but it's also not terrible, but it's just okay. Like all of that. It's all of that. It's never one thing, right? It's a bunch of things. And then when you add that all together, that's why this film didn't do the number that that we expected it to do. Aaliyah, again, animation may no longer be a box office powerhouse. Sonic 2 and Sing 2 are about 400 million worldwide. Difference is the production costs are lower. Lightyear was 200 million. Exactly. I mean, this thing's going to, I don't know. Does it get to 200 million worldwide? Maybe. I mean, it's in trouble. It's in major, major, major trouble here. I don't see the big deal about recasting Tim Allen, as technically the movie is different about Buzz Lightyear. Also, the marketing could have been clear as to what the movie is going to be about. Okay, so Gone Girl. Here, let me explain this to you. So, and I don't mean not doing condescending here. I'm just explaining. I understand you don't think it's a big deal. Okay, that's fine. That's your opinion, and you're absolutely entitled to that. But you also have to understand there are people who do feel it's a big deal. Okay. So, and ultimately, and whether whoever's right or wrong, we can't, I mean, I don't know what the answer to that is, but I can tell you this: if you have a segment that's not happy and you don't care, but there's a segment that does, they're maybe going to be pissed off enough to not go to the movie. Okay. So that's absolutely a component. So, and I will say this, and again, I think this is objective. When you look at Lightyear, when I watched Lightyear, the week before it opened, I saw this film and I thought it was decent. Okay. And I love Socks. Socks is the best part of the film. But I will say this, and I like Chris Evans. Okay. Let's make sure that's perfectly clear. I do think that Tim Allen and his voice of Buzz gives that character kind of that, dumbish, right? Doltish kind of thing, right? Where he believes in himself more. I think that the comedic ability of Tim Allen is obviously going to be stronger than Chris Evans. It just is. I mean, I'm not suggesting Chris Evans can't do comedy, but Tim Allen's a, pretty damn good comedian. Whether you agree with his politics, we're not talking about that. I'm talking about straight comedy, okay? And there's a reason why he was so popular. So I think that is missing from the film. Do I think Lightyear's better with Tim Allen doing the same character and that version of Buzz? I do. Do I think it's like Lightyear's better? Forgive me. No. But do I think it's a little better? Yes. It's like I talked about Black Phone. You guys are going to see Black Phone here in a few days. It's very good. But one problem I have with the Black Phone is that we know Ethan Hawke so well, right? We know Ethan Hawke, and he is usually a good guy. So that when you're asked to all of a sudden forget everything you know about an actor and he's got to be this like super dark, evil guy, and you're like, that's Ethan Hawke, there's a part that just kind of doesn't quite go there. I think the film's better if you get someone who's like Michael Shannon. Okay, Michael Shannon is just like scary. Like, I wouldn't walk up to Michael Shannon, honestly, at any event. And I've been to plenty of events where there's a star walking around. I think I would steer clear of Michael Shannon because he just looks like he would beat your ass. And I'm like, I don't want to deal with that guy. And I think he also said he doesn't suffer fools. You guys know what that means, right? You say something that's not like, he's like literally like, I don't want to deal with a guy who, if I come up, he's like, I don't want to talk. I'm like, okay, sorry. And he's also, like I said, he's a tall guy and he's menacing. He's menacing. And I think that, again, let's circle it back to Tim Allen. I think that Tim Allen, this is his character. I mean, ultimately, I think that's fair. I don't think it's Chris Evans' fault. I think that it's fair to say that the film suffers and just enough for me that's going to be a problem. But I think forget all that. There's people, a significant portion of people that were disappointed that it wasn't Tim Allen. Because of that, that's one of the reasons it didn't do as well. It's one of the reasons. End of discussion. Hopefully now with vaccines soon available for kids, Disney won't overact and keep Disney Animation Strange World. It's not, listen, it's coming out. It's going to happen. Lonely Lizard, there's no chance. There's no chance that film is not theatrical. I can promise you that. I absolutely promise you. I will bet. Remember, I told you this. I don't offer this very often. If Strange World is not theatrical, then you alone, Lonely Lizard, this is only for you. If it does not go theatrical, now let me say this before I offer this up from Mitchell's versus the Machines. If I offer this up, you have to understand that if they decide, if the powers, or if our overlords tell us that we have to shut down or something, then that's not up. But if everything's like going the way it normally is right now, there's no way that Strange World isn't. If not, then the moose is yours. Okay. But again, remember I said, if the overlords do something, I can't control that. Then the bet is off. Jay, again, I really wonder if Lightyear and Dominion flipped opening weekends, how each film will do. We talk about that all the time. It's all about that. Who's first in the marketplace, because it sucks oxygen out of the next weekend. That's another, absolutely. Thank you, Jay, for reminding me of that. Huge component here is that people went to see Maverick, they went to see Dominion, and they say, I don't know, I'm already on the fence about Lightyear. I'm going to sit this one out. And then because Lightyear only did 51 and it's way under what it should be, that means next weekend for Elvis and the Black Phone, we should have those pop up. I think next weekend, someone hit me on Twitter today. Could we have the first 5 $20 million films in one weekend? It's one of the first times that'll happen. I think it's been 4 before. I'm sure there's maybe one time there was 5. I don't know. But if it happens, and think about this next weekend. First of all, Dominion was at high 50s this past weekend. So even if it drops 50% from that, it's in the 20s. Lightyear, let's say 50% down. That is in the 20s. Let's put Elvis I think we all can agree Elvis is at least at 20 million. So that's three. Then you throw in Maverick. What was the final number? It was down 15%, but what was the number? Hold on. Maverick was, give me a second. What the hell was the number this weekend? 44? 44 million for Top Gun. So that's in the 20s. So now you're only down to one film to get to 5 at 20, and that is The Black Phone. And let me tell you why The Black Phone has a really good shot. Horror does well in the summer. Go back to The Conjuring. I believe that was 13 or was it 14? 13, I think. Conjuring outperforms. Warner Brothers is like, holy crap, we've got a situation here. We can put this movie in here, this horror movie in the middle of summer and outperform. And you look at Annabelle and that outperformed. You look at, some smaller films like what was the Don't Breathe. Don't Breathe was August. There's a bunch of recent horror films that have done very well. Even Crawl, that alligator film, sort of horror, right? The Paramount alligator thing that, by the way, Quentin Tarantino loved that film. When I went up and asked him, what were your 3 favorite movies of that year? Was it 2019? He's like, Crawl. And I go, what? Quentin Tarantino just said he liked Crawl. I guess that's probably not that surprising given some of the movies, right, that he loves to show down at the New Beverly. But you look at horror at summer, and it usually can hit, especially if it's good. Like The Black Phone's very good. Okay, my problem with Ethan Hawke in Black Phone is minimal. The little girl, Madeline. Oh, listen, I told you. Listen, pull up my site. Okay, so here it is. You guys know I run Awards Ace, awardsace.com. Go check it out for all your latest on the awards scene. And guess who I have featured right now? Here we go. If you haven't seen it, I'm pulling it up right now. This is my awards site, awardsace.com, and I go to it, and I'm going to show you that I actually have down here. You guys see Florence Pugh. You see, obviously, Austin Butler, Elvis. You see Tom Cruise over there. I love highlighting actors on Awards Ace that especially like Tom Cruise in Maverick, that maybe are like outside picks. Okay, so here we go. We're rolling down. What do you see right there? You see, there she is. That is Madeline McGraw. Okay, so I have her literally featured as a Best Supporting Actress contender. And let me tell you why. When you see The Black Phone, if you haven't seen it already, you're going to see it this week. You get ready. You fasten your seatbelt for the scene she has with her dad in the kitchen. I'm not going to say anything more than that. You will know when you're in the middle of it. And when you watch that, you're going to see an actress that is next level. That is literally, I feel like I'm watching a documentary. And she is that good in that film. And that's why I have her there in the supporting actress contenders. Because why can't we do that? I roll down. Here she is. Madeline McGraw. There she is. Okay. And it's got the diamond, which means I personally have a recommendation on her in that category. Why can't we talk about people, actors, actresses, anybody, anything? When a film is great, no matter what the genre is, in a certain area, in a certain category, such as Madeline in The Black Phone, why can't we talk about her as a Best Supporting Actress candidate? She's that good. It doesn't have to be in only awards films, like films you see behind me, right? A number of these are pure award film plays, right? There's not, there's certainly some other things on here like WW84, like what the hell is that? Okay, I totally will give you that. But you look up here, obviously Hurt Locker won, Moneyball. I've got up here, you probably can't even see this one. This is Nomadland, which is a super cool cover, but it's not that interesting visually, but it's really artistic. Shape of Water. When you look at these films behind me, these are all FYC films. These are major awards films. But why can't we talk about The Black Phone, not as an awards film, but as her as a supporting actress? You can extract Madeline from the film and say she is of a worthy quality. It's really that simple for me. I mean, it really is. Let's see. I'm going to scroll down, and man, I got so many comments. I'm like way behind. Guys, by the way, I'm going to take just a real quick time out here. Do me a favor. Hammer. I'm not going to say smash. Everyone says that. Hammer the like button for me. Okay. Share this. Spread the community. That's what we're trying to do here, is have this meeting usually on Sundays for sure, Tuesdays and Thursdays. And we're going to have discussions, and you guys are 100% involved in this. Okay. You guys know I'm outspoken, and I will always have my take, but I appreciate whatever take you have. That is important to me. I love the conversation of film, and it obviously goes to other things. We just talked about COVID and all that a little bit ago. You can talk about films and lead it to somewhere else that really opens up the scope, I think, of discussions that we're having here. So I really appreciate it. Speaking of Elvis, I'm going to see it on Tuesday, and we will talk about Elvis on Midnight Movie Talk. It'll be late that night because it starts at like 7. It's 2:45. I have a feeling Midnight Movie Talk will be 1 a.m. movie talk on Tuesday. Just be advised, 1 a.m., maybe even like later. So be ready for that. Elvis on Tuesday. I can't wait to see it. It's very long. It's 2 hours and 45 minutes. I'm a little bit worried about that because you know how I feel about long run times. I like a tighter run time. Okay. But that said, Austin Butler looks insane as Elvis. Like literally, like I'm watching Elvis Presley. And Scott Menzel saw it, one of my good friends out here, president of the Hollywood Critics Association, and he said that exactly that I'm watching Elvis, and I think that's exciting. Okay, so I can't wait to see it. Let's see. Hold on. I think I got in here. Superhero movies. Give me a second. I gotta go. I gotta go back. Okay, here we go. Just saw Lightyear and what an experience it was. Granted, I saw it in 4DX 3D, and the visuals were excellent. I 100% agree with you. Visuals in this film are very strong. And in fact, I told you guys, if you're gonna see this movie, see it in 3D. I didn't. But if you're going to have that option, take it. Sox completely dominates when he enters, no question. 3D is the way to go. I 100% agree. Thank you for confirming what I suspected when I saw this film. And yes, The Cat deserves its own short movie or straight-to-streaming movie. Yeah, Sox is the star of this film. That said, can I say this? That said, I have a picture. I don't know if I sent it out. Have you seen the Sox like plush toy? Okay, that I think says a few things when you squeeze its paw. It is hideous. Okay, Sox looks lovey-dovey, cuddly kind of thing. When you watch the movie, you're like, I want to have Sox in my pet. And I went in, I was running into Walmart. Yes, I shop at Walmart. Oh, terrible. What am I, you some kind of redneck, Eric? You shop at Walmart? Walmart here in Burbank. Where everybody in LA shops. Oh my God, the place is always packed. I looked at Sox on the shelf and I go, what the hell is that? It literally is the most hideous replication of Sox you can imagine. It's literally almost demonic looking. And I'm who is going to buy this? Oh, speaking of real trouble, all that Lightyear stuff that's sitting in Walmart, in Target, I can't say Toys R Us anymore because it's gone, but it's literally going to be on the clearance shelves. That's not legit. It'll be on the clearance shelves here within weeks. It's not going to sell. I mean, I'm sorry. Disney's like, man, we're losing every which way here. But it's true. Lightyear, massive disappointment. That is fair. You guys know that's fair. Jedi Cat, Eric, got to see you safe and healthy on the Sunday night. Thanks for the streams. Thank you for watching Jedi Cat. I really appreciate it. 100%. Again, guys, it's really about I like doing the comments. We did this stuff. And I'm like, let's just get into the comments. I think you guys are really smart, and I love the fact that you're on top of it, and you think of things. I'm like, that's perfect. I totally agree with that. Or if you don't, I go, you're 100% wrong. Aaliyah failed to launch worldwide. The conservative issue may be valid, yet it's the last one. If it only failed to launch in the U.S., Canada, okay, but worldwide indicates it's not a big issue. Okay, that's fair. But again, we're talking about components of what happened, right? So when we break down the autopsy of Lightyear blowing up on the launch pad, not fully okay at 51 million, it didn't, but not obviously it went up and then came right back down in the ocean. I think that we're in trouble long term on this film because you got Minions right around the corner, 2 weeks away. Now people are probably like, because the buzz is bad, right? Forgive me, I didn't mean that, but the buzz is bad on Lightyear at this point, okay? And that's just the reality, because now everyone's like, it failed, it bombed. I saw a whole bunch of, like, I go to different websites and I look at all kinds of news stories. I saw a lot of people like, oh, look at this woke film that bombed. I see it a lot of places. And it's like, well, okay, I get it. But here's the point is once you have all that kind of noise out there, it starts to seep into everything so that all you start to think about is Lightyear was a bomb. And I think that's the danger too going forward is now people are like, it's almost toxic. At 51 million, they're like, what happened with this film? It must not be good. And I don't think that's fair because I think it's pretty solid. I really do. I mean, I have issues with it and we talked about it, but I think the film is solid enough to, warrant at least a few more weeks of playing before Minions comes in and absolutely smashes it to bits. Minions is in a great space. I mean, it is July 4th, right? I think comes out the 1st, and then that weekend, the 4th is on Monday. So Minions is perfectly situated. Okay, so if you look at Minions coming up here on the 4th, it is like Maverick. Maverick was perfect on Memorial Day. Minions is ideal on the 4th of July. It has that weekend plus the 4th. Minions is going to pop with a number that you guys are going to go, holy look at what Minions did. Because it's been 5 years since the last Minions film, they are pushing it like you have no idea. Out here, there are billboards and bus posters, all bus stop posters all over the place. I mean, literally, Minions, you can't get away from this. I was at the beach this weekend, both days. Look up, I'm not today too. I forgot to take a picture today. I sent it out. Minions flying by as hundreds of thousands of people are on the beach. Here comes this Minions July 1st, like the banner, right? On the plane. They are pushing it and they're going to nail it. This film is going to be huge. If you can buy stock in Universal, do it now because that is going to be absolutely huge. Let's see. Saw Lightyear twice. JT, good evening to you. Saw Lightyear twice. Definitely better than Turning Red. 100%. I agree. Turning Red is not a good film. I will not budge off of that. I don't think it's the worst film ever made. I think it's one of the worst Pixar films. I will not. You can have. We can discuss that. I really don't want to anymore about Turning Red, but it's not a great film. Okay. I mean, I can see why they flipped that Disney Plus. The only reason Strange World might be theatrical is because Disney knows it'll bomb like Atlantis and Treasure Planet, so they'll get big screen animated motion picture cult classic popping 4D plus. We'll see. I mean, it's coming. It's coming to theaters. There's no question about it. Like none at all. Hey, Sleepy Skunk, good evening to you. If Nolan could leave WB and go to Universal, Pixar should leave Disney and go to Apple with a theatrical exclusive deal. They were brokenhearted enough by Bob Chapek, creatively bankrupt decisions. I don't know what the deal is with Pixar. I can't speak to the deal they have with Disney and are they even able to extract themselves from the mouse house? I don't know the answer to that, but I think that it's something to look into. Let's also remember that these things are brutally technical and there's contracts and all that, so it's really hard to say, but I understand your comparison with saying Nolan and all that, but I feel like filmmakers are different. This is a whole right division essentially of Disney. I mean, Pixar, it's now Disney Pixar. It used to be Pixar, right? Now it's Disney Pixar, even though it's Disney. I don't know. That's interesting. We'll see what happens, but I agree with you. It is 100% something that could happen. Let's go to superhero movies again. Eric, you were right. When am I not? Just kidding. No, I'm not. I'm not kidding. I'm 100% right. I'm seeing Lightyear and how good a time I had with it. It has to be Maverick and Dominion still being in theaters causing Lightyear to suffer. I don't think the quality of Lightyear is the problem here. I don't. I think people that were too hard on it, I think it's fine. It's adequate. Do I think it's great? No. Do I think it's adequate? Yes. Do I think Dominion's great? No. Do I think it's adequate? Yes. Maverick is great. Okay. Right now, top 5 movies in theaters, and I told you guys this. I'm telling you again here on a Sunday night. Number 1 movie to see is Maverick. You've already seen it. Number 2, Phantom of the Open, which is Sony Pictures classic. Mark Rylance, Sally Hawkins. Go see Phantom of the Open, or when it comes on streaming, you need to watch it. It's a really adorable film, and it sounds weird, but it's true. It's so delightful and likable, and you really need to watch it. And it's by the guy who wrote Paddington 2. And so there you go. I mean, Paddington 2, we know how great that is. So Family Open. Then I would go to a very small film out right now called Poser. It's only in New York, LA. When it comes to you, and it'll probably be in one screen somewhere if you're lucky in a major market. Poser is a hell of a debut by these 2 directors that are out of Columbus, Ohio, my hometown of Columbus. And by the way, Columbus, Ohio is a super hip town. And it's one of the reasons I'm here tonight talking to you is that we had a vibrant art scene in Columbus, Ohio. And I used to be a DJ. I was a house music DJ at raves in the 90s. Okay, trust me. One day they'll make a movie like Eric Weber's Insane Journey. And I was a rave DJ in Columbus. And when I watched Poser, they captured the energy of that town that's in the middle of America. And you would never know that it's hip and cool. But Poser kicks ass. Watch Poser. Also, Brian and Charles, the new movie from Focus, which is, the robot thing. If you've seen it, the trailer's okay. The movie's better than the trailer, and it's also 90 minutes. Love it. And then Watcher, the IFC film, very good. All of those are your 5 best films right now. I have all of them ranked above Lightyear, all of them above Dominion, even though I think those are okay films. So I think you've got a lot of good stuff out there. Get out and support it because they're going away fast. These smaller films are not making it as long. I think that's the one part of this segment, this audience of that's out there that's not really coming back, is that indie film. You're seeing it in spots with Everything Everywhere All at Once, but then you're seeing something like Brian and Charles, which would have done better, I think, in 2019 or 2018 than it is right now. It's a good film. I really liked it. And again, very likable. Fan of the Open and Brian and Charles, very likable. But I can't speak highly enough about Poser. If you can get your hands on Poser, you got a chance to go see it, do it. JT, again, Universal going to have a good year with Jurassic World Dominion, The Black Phone, Minions 2, and Nope. 100%. I mean, listen, The Black Phone, I think, has a real shot to get to 20 million or higher. The word of mouth is going to be extremely high. Okay. They've been showing this movie. They showed it last Wednesday. So when I saw it, those fan screens, they love the film. Universal thinks this film is very good, and I agree with them. I think I have some issues with it, but in general, it's very solid. And I think, again, the average person will really like that film. So Universal right now is sitting on a bunch of cash. I mean, Nope's going to do very well as well. It's a great spot at the end of July. I like that spot. Ali, again, Disney has not yet announced when Lightyear will be on Disney Plus. Okay, good. I didn't know. I don't like, tell me if I'm wrong on this. I don't like announcing to everybody when your film is going to be on streaming, because then what you do is you have people that go, fine, it's going to be on streaming in 2 weeks. You take people that would have gone to the movies and all of a sudden they're like, nah, I'm not going to go, because why? It's going to be on streaming in 2 weeks. Wasim, good evening to you. Guess aliens went and saw No Way Home and Top Gun. Right, exactly. No families went to Top Gun either. If you guys missed it at the top of the hour, I got to pull it up. Okay, I promise I will not show it one. This is the last time I'm going to show it. I'm not going to do it again after this, but I'm going to have to do it one more time for everybody who's just tuning in. This is from Variety's article talking about Lightyear. Underwhelming. That's fair. But hey, this is cool. Oh, wait. What does this say here? Family audiences, the movie's prime demographic, haven't returned to theaters in full force since the start of the. Oh, there's no. I guess there is no Way Home in this writer's universe, or for that matter, Maverick. Clearly, families went to see that at the number it's at, or Doctor Strange too. No families went to see that at almost 1 billion worldwide. No, families are very clearly not back. How about the film just underperformed? Like, I can't believe they listed that. Okay, I promised I wouldn't do it again. I had to do it one more time because that's so bad. That's so bad. That is misinformation. Straight up misinformation. Ethan Hawke was the villain on Moon Knight. I know I didn't watch Moon Knight. I'm sorry, but again, was that an issue for you? I'm not saying it's a major issue. I'm just telling you that. Thank you, Gingy. He doesn't watch that. You're right. You know, it's funny. I'll only say this, okay, because Gingy brings up a good point, is that it's weird when you don't watch something, okay? And then your frame of reference is you don't know. You have no frame of reference for an actor. And then you go, what? Ethan Hawke was the bad guy in Moon Knight. You're right. I do remember that, but I didn't watch Moon Knight. I apologize. You know me, guys, I'm knee deep in movies like Poser. Who else is on YouTube talking about Posers? Or even like one person? And if they are, like, who are, I mean, come on, nobody's doing that. Exactly. Yeah, I don't watch it, so I'm clueless. But you don't have any frame of reference for the actors. So you're like, I'm just telling you, Black Phone. I wish I would have seen Michael Shannon instead of Ethan Hawke. That doesn't mean the movie isn't good. I'm just telling you, if I was casting it, and we know why Ethan Hawke's there. Scott Derrickson, they worked together on Sinister. It makes sense. They work together. He's like, hey, I've got this movie. You'd be good for this. He looks good, Ethan Hawke. But again, I just tell you, I don't know. I'd rather see someone else. Yes, it is funny. I don't watch it. Disney, does that say Spitted? I want my slaw. How about that for a name? And it turned Spit in my face as a fan. So I turned the favor by not going to see the movie. Okay, I'm glad you chimed in here tonight. Welcome to the channel, I Want My Slaw. Because here's what I'm going to tell you. That whether you agree with I Want My Slaw or not, okay? And that's fine. You can decide however you want to do that. But I'm going to tell you that I Want My Slaw, which sounds so weird sitting here saying this. I Want My Slaw is not the only I Want My Slaw out there. This will be the only time that's ever said in the history of mankind what just came out of my mouth. No one will ever say that again. I Want My Slaw is not the only I Want My Slaw out there. There are other people like Slaw who were not happy with Tim Allen not being the voice. And I'm glad that you chimed in because I just want to paint the whole picture. That's what we do here. Give me the whole story. Don't give me some of it and tell me families aren't coming back. Why don't you focus on the Tim Allen thing? And maybe they do later. I didn't see. That is a component of the mosaic that is Lightyear failed to launch, right? So you have to report on that. That's what reporting is. Ultimately, I used to be, if you guys don't know this, I used to be a TV news anchor. You guys are like, what? Now you're going to go scour the internet for, where is Eric Weber? Is it? I used to be a TV news anchor. And when I did that, I did my best to be objective and to not just say things that I didn't believe, even if it was in the teleprompter. I would literally look at the teleprompter and be like, I don't know about that. I would say on air, I'm not so sure. And then people are like, what did he just say? That's who I am. You guys know that's you guys. You watch the channel. You know who I am. I'm a man. I can't. This is who I am. I can't change that. So you have to understand when I'm giving you all the picture. I'm trying to give you the full picture, and so you can understand what's happening out there. I'm not saying you have to agree with slaw, but it's part of the picture. Slaw exists. Only time that's ever going to be said. Oh my God. Gone Girl again. The same sex kissing was literally like 2 seconds. If you blink, you miss it. I had no relevance to the story. It's not a love story like Calling By Name. I understand. I understand, Gone Girl. I totally get what you're saying. What I'm saying is that there are some people, not saying they're right, that had an issue with that. Okay. I'm just saying that's a part of, again, this mosaic. We're trying to put together this composite. What can we do about why did Lightyear not do what it's supposed to do? So literally, look, okay, so let's pretend that we're talking about Lightyear and why it didn't succeed. It's not just Dune, okay? It's also Get Out, Up, Lego Movie, Argo, Promising Young Woman, Rocket Man, Star is Born, Ma Rainey, Farewell. Do you see what I'm saying? It's a bunch of reasons. This was the best moment ever on Midnight Movie Talk. I feel like this really captures what we're trying to do here tonight. It's a mosaic of what happened to Lightyear. Looking at the many FYC screeners behind me, it's not just one thing, right? So it's a part of it. It just is. It is. And again, I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm saying it's a part of it. Moraine, good evening to you. I was hyped for Buzz, but now I'm just going to see it when it comes to stream. People are now going to do exactly what you just. This is it. This is the comment that I fear and Disney fears. Now we have this. I'm not hyped to watch this movie, so I'm going to put it on the back burner. I'll watch it when it comes to Disney Plus. So now the second weekend number goes lower, and then the next weekend, and you've got an issue going forward. That's what's going to happen here. Infor Media Live. Hello there, and hello there to you on this Sunday night. Thanks for watching. Again, time out. As I knock over my mic. Hammer the like button. Hit me up with some shares. Do that stuff for me, guys. I really appreciate it. This is a community, and you guys see I'm trying to get as many people in here as possible. And thank you, Infor Media Live. Interesting points. So I'm trying. Ultimately, here's what I do. I talk about films unvarnishedly. I don't know if that's a word, but that's literally it. It's straight up real talk about the movie industry and films, okay, and whether they work or not, and why they didn't work, and all these different things. It's not slanted. I'm not ever going to be slanted. If I am, let's go to Everything Everywhere All at Once. Some of you are like, you're slanted against that film. No, I legitimately don't think it's as nearly as good as a lot of people do. And I told you why, and I don't want to get into it, but I'm saying it's not slanted. It's a legitimate, I think, objective look at that film. And I try to do that. That's all I'm trying to do here. Anisha Raj, good evening to you. Disney owns Pixar since 2000. And does that say 6? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be tough for them to get out of there. I'm not really sure which ones. Again, need to check out those movies. Yeah, let's go through them real quickly one more time. You've got Maverick. You've all seen that. 2, Phantom of the Open. 3, Poser. 4, Brian and Charles, and 5, Watcher. Those are the films you need to see right now. They're all worthy of seeing in a theater. Every one of those films I just talked about. So check them out. And that's what I want to do here too, is tell you about those films. Like, how many of you ever heard of Poser before that? I mean, legit. I mean, some of you guys are serious about films, and it's super awesome. But I mean, how many of you really have even heard of that film? Go watch the trailer. It's super. The film's way better than the trailer even, but it's really strong. Really strong. It's super small film. I mean, tiny. It's oscilloscope, which is one of the smallest distributors when we talk about, IFC, and then you go under that. It's really small. Wasim again. I'm watching your favorite MCU film today. That's it. You're banned. Let me ban this from the chat. Iron Man 3. You know what? I wonder if there's an Iron Man 3 FYC box. I should hunt that down so I can burn it live. Literally take I don't have it in my box. Literally take the Iron Man 3. This would be a great, I was going to say rating stunt. Sorry, this is not television. Literally take the Iron Man 3 DVD box and burn it live. Oh man, Eric, you're an exceptional human. I absolutely love house music. Thank you. What's weird is I just have so many different things that I have in my life. I'm not like one thing, and I know I hope all of you are that way. By the way, I forgot to mention tonight's football kit is Fulham. it's the last. Fulham, by the way, was relegated, right? So they went down to the championship, and then they came back up. They're back in the Premier League, like down, up, down. Awesome. So that was tonight's football kit. So I forgot to mention that. Hold on, let me go back again. Yeah, no, when we get into that, I really feel like yes, I was a DJ. I don't have them. I don't have any pictures. It was back in the 90s. But so let me just walk you through this. And one day I really want to make a film. I'm not kidding you. I really do want to make a film about the rave scene in the 90s because I lived it and I could tell you exactly what it was like. Columbus, Ohio, we rented out a warehouse. Okay. I literally paid this guy for this room, and we brought in, and I DJ'd. And you ready for my name? You guys can go, oh my God, that is the worst. But this was my name in Columbus, Ohio. And trust me, if you know someone in Columbus that's been around the rave scene or anyone in that art scene, they will remember this name. I was DJ Web Slinger. Listen, hand to God, DJ Web Slinger. And we DJ'd in house, like these warehouses on Front Street, which is total like sketchy area. And we were in there, and we were like in front of thousands of people playing like rave music. Go back to the early 90s, and you look at like T99 was one of the James Brown is Dead. Have you ever heard that old school 90s techno? We played that. And then I leaned hard into Sasha and Digweed. You guys now know I'm talking pure to you if you know DJ music. Sasha Digweed and Northern Exposure, those CDs at that time of CDs, I didn't have the vinyls. The CDs, those mix CDs, just were everything. I mean, the music that came out of the early 90s and the progressive house scene. I will never forget things like Gat Decor's Passion. If you've never listened to Gat, okay, I'm just going to keep going here for a minute. Gat Decor's Passion is one of my all-time favorite songs. In the piano breakdown in Gat Decor's Passion, Gatdecor, that breakdown is literally, I literally feel like goosebumps right now, because I remember sitting in that warehouse playing that song in front of thousands of people, and that piano breakdown hits, and it's like spiritual. Everyone just goes, oh my God, like you have to listen to that. If you've never heard Gat Decor's Passion, please go find it. And it's on YouTube. Search for it. I'll put it in the comments. I'm going to put it right now. I'm typing it in right here, so I don't for Gat Decor Passion. Okay, so there it is. I think it's Decor. It might be Decor. You need to listen to that song. Okay. And I was a DJ. I could go into, in fact, I'm gonna probably start a Twitter thread of like all the old progressive house songs that I love. And if you listen to, they will just take your mind and go, woo, because that's what Sasha and Digweed did. So I'm so glad to be a part of that. So I think that's why I'm very into scores, because the scores are, especially when they're electronic, just are like, oh, Poser, obsessive hipster thriller set to underground music scene. 100% correct. That is absolutely correct. And again, Poser is set in Columbus, Ohio, and it feels like my hometown. It's a really cool film. It's gonna be one of my favorite films of the year. Dance house, synthwave, retro wave, amazing sounds. 100%. The Midnight. Okay, if you've never heard of the Midnight, I imagine you have now. I think Chris Evans is a fan. I was on the Midnight back in like 2014. Okay, FM 84. These are like, synthwave bands. The Midnight I just saw at the Wiltern. One of my friends on Twitter invited me to go, and I go, I'm gonna go see the Midnight. And Sunset, Los Angeles, there's so many great songs. I mean, Comeback Kid. The Midnight Comeback Kid, I feel like is almost like a song for me, because at one time in my life I was really low. Okay, maybe we'll talk about that another night. But I was so low that I can't even describe. Like, I understand what depression is. So when I was at that moment, and when I came back, I listened to Comeback Kid by the Midnight, and I was just like, I started crying because it spoke to my soul, right? That's what music does. And if you don't listen to the Midnight, you need to go listen to the Midnight and listen to the Comeback Kid. It's one of my favorite songs, and I got to see them live. So it was so cool. See, this is what I love to do. I love to talk about it. But listen, truth be told, I'm not just all about films. I love films, but there's many other things that I have interest in my life. And I think that's important for everybody, because it gives you a better opportunity to kind of view films through different lenses, right? Because you're not just only watching films, you're experiencing life as a whole, and then you can take some of that, extract it. I love extract, by the way. And then bring that into your review, because you remember, like when I watch Poser, I'm like, I used to be an underground music DJ in Columbus, Ohio, and I'm watching this film going, oh my God, I feel this in my bones, in my soul. JT, you're right. Thor: Love and Thunder world premieres on Thursday. I'm gonna try to get in. I really want to get in. I'm gonna try. I bet you Menzel goes. He gets to all those. If not, I'm seeing Thor the Wednesday after. I'm sure the social media embargo will break on Thursday, so we'll have a really good idea. By the way, we'll be live here on Thursday, one way or another, live here Thursday, talking about Thor: Love and Thunder. Tuesday, in 2 nights from now, we're going to talk about Elvis, late 1 a.m. Movie talk, and then we're going to do Thor: Love and Thunder reactions on Thursday. So join me for those. And again, smash. Sorry, no, it's not smash. Hammer the like button, guys. Really appreciate it. All right, a few more minutes here. We only go an hour. That's the rule. The rule is we go 1 hour, and then the plug is pulled. Literally, my computer goes off. It goes dark, and the studios are dark here in Los Angeles on Midnight Movie Talk. Let's get a few more. I'm sick and tired of the media and journalists using the pandemic as a reason for movies failing. Movies flopped before COVID, and it will continue to do so. Wasim, 100% gold star on that. If I'm not starring your comments, trust me, I love all of them. You're 100% correct. Stop using it as an excuse. It is not valid anymore. That's the absolute truth. Chris Gore, good evening to you. Criticize Lightyear all you want. It's a perfect film to see during Pride Month. I mean, that's true. I can't argue with that, Chris Gore. I can't argue with that. Top 3 films in the $1 billion club. Like my top 3. Let me think about that, Trade. Let's come back to that. I'm going to circle back to that. Oh my God, please. Someone punch me. Aaliyah, with composites, though, you ignore the fringe because that's not the opinion of the average majority of the audience. Yeah, I understand. But I'm trying to get a complete, again, mosaic of what happened with Lightyear. Okay, so again, as I look at all my films, it's not one thing, it's a bunch of things, and I think Lightyear is not one thing, but all the things I mentioned about Lightyear not doing well is absolutely part of the problem. Okay, and the problem is the film didn't launch like it should have. It failed to launch at the number we expected, 80 million. It was 50. It's minus 30 on that number, not 70, minus 30, and possibly they're saying Variety's 70. It's weird because not only does Variety have the number at 70 instead of 80, which it really should be, they also say that families aren't going to movies anymore like they were. Whatever. You guys, I've only said it a million times. Wasim, don't make me start about this Wonder Woman 84 FYCs. One more time. You know what? That's it. I'm done. It's gone. Wonder Woman 84 is officially coming off that's it. It's gone. I'm throwing it over there. It's gone. We'll replace Wonder Woman 84 on Tuesday. God, that looks horrible. The sticky stuff back there, that is there. I cleaned it up. It looks way better. Goodbye, Wonder Woman 84. I might have to put it back up. I might have to put it back. I'm all about house music. I mean, listen, ultimately, yes, 100%. I was going to take my girlfriend to see Lightyear, but now I'll probably take her to see Black Phone. Black Phone's great. I would definitely say Black Phone over Lightyear. No question. Yes, you're right. Gone Girl, 100%. DJ Webslinger. Don't ever say that again. No, I'm kidding. Oh, here it is. I have it here. I put it on there. Gat Decor. Is it? Yeah, Gat Decor's Passion. There's a remix. Make sure you're getting the right one. But I'm just telling you, when you hear it, you're going to hear a piano breakdown that's like, oh. Imagine that in a warehouse, an illegal rave in Columbus, Ohio in like 1992 with me DJing in front of like thousands of people. Here comes Gat Decor's Passion and that piano breakdown and everyone just going, oh, tripping on ecstasy and stuff. Not me. I swear to God, I didn't do that stuff, but everybody else was. Oh, random stories. Get ready. We're almost at the hour mark. So when I was a DJ, I DJ'd at this club one night, and it was 80s night. So I played like, I was like amazing. I wish I recorded the set. It was like all these badass remixes of 80s songs. And this other DJ came in because he was going to DJ after me. And I go, this is the weirdest night. He literally in front of me he literally starts putting cocaine. Okay, now we're way off. We're almost done here. Literally on the table, like, do you want some? Like, what the hell? What is this, Miami Vice? What the are you doing, dude? He said, no, thank you. And I exit the DJ booth. Oh my God, the stories. One day I'm gonna write a script that's about the 90s rave scene. And you guys will be like, Joshua, good evening to you. Midnight Rave Talks reminded me very acutely of my age. Me too. Me too, Joshua. There will never be another early 90s rave scene. And there needs to be a movie. I understand that Train Spotting is sort of that, but I'm telling you, we need to have a Columbus, Ohio remix of the Rave movie. I would love it. You guys would love it too. Goodbye, Wonder Woman 84. It's now a blank hole. FYC, The Wall. I want to see what I can move in there. What can I move in there? There'll be something else there because Wonder Woman 84 is across the way, and at some point it really needs to be burnt. All right, we're almost at an hour. Let's do quick. Here we go. Lightning moment. Here we go. Lightning. Anisha Raj. When do FYC screeners usually come out? I assume you messed those up with the C and the Y. They come out in usually about September or October. Sometimes you'll get one earlier. Is it true that Buzz Lightyear made Andy gay later in life? Michael, that's it. Good evening to you, by the way, Michael. Thank you for watching. Good Lord. Good. This is perfect. I'm literally counting the seconds till it's over. 20 seconds and we're done for an hour. Wasim, didn't Matrix Unloaded have a rave scene? A Reloaded, I think it, but that's not a rave movie. We need a full-on like rave, underground rave scene. Tonight's homework, very simply, let me pull up the comment again. Go listen to Gat Decor's Passion and listen to the piano breakdown and think of a younger DJ Webslinger throwing that on the vinyl platter and ripping that through like a massive warehouse, and then the piano breakdown and everyone was just losing it. That's your moment tonight. And again, anytime, I'm always going to talk about progressive house music all day, all night, because that is really like my soul. That's why I love score. Again, love it. That's your homework tonight. I will see you back here on Tuesday night. We'll talk about Elvis. By the way, if you want to see Elvis, it's on Tuesday night, those fan screenings. So go see it, and then we can talk about it on Tuesday. It will not be at 9, though, because there's no way I'll be in the middle of a movie at AMC Burbank. 1 a.m. movie talk on that Tuesday night. Until then, guys, thank you for watching. Hammer the like button, and I'll see you back here on Tuesday. Good evening to you.